Hi everyone, Cheryl here. Today is March 27th, 2023. I wanted to talk today a little bit about hypnosis, one of my favorite subjects. I've been a practitioner for almost going on 40 years, but I've been practicing hypnotherapy as well since the 80s and in a more official capacity in the last couple of decades. Anyway, it is a technique and a um, practice that helps so many people to overcome so many different issues that it's sort of one of my favorite go-tos. Uh, it helps people to lose weight, quit smoking, nail biting, anxiety, generalized anxiety, specific anxieties, helping with confidence and processing old issues that get in the way of having success in their current day life, along with doing past life regression, although lately I have a tendency to call it parallel life regression. And it's not really a regression, it's more of a tapping into the parallel versions of you that already have experience, that already know certain things. And so I've been using that a little bit more in my practice as opposed to the linear approach of time and space, which is really a construct and isn't really accurate because all versions of ourselves are existing simultaneously. But the reason I wanted to talk about hypnosis today was more about some of the fallacies and the misinformation that is portrayed to the general public through media, through the movie industry. It's often portrayed as something that is so mysterious that it is something that can control your mind by somebody else. Somebody else is taking possession of you and making you do things against your will. And that's not really what the practice of hypnotherapy is about. We are just helping you to reach your goal. We are accessing a part of the mind that you normally don't access through the day. You can dip into that state at night, and through your dream state, you are accessing your subconscious mind. But most people, unless they're really serious meditators, uh, aren't really connecting with their subconscious on a regular basis. And even if they are accessing it through meditation, it's not really constructed in a format that will help them to overcome certain issues. And so hypnotherapy has the advantage of, formulating a very specific goal and working with you to define that goal, and also engaging the emotions and engaging the sensory experience of the subconscious mind to engage all of that to overcome any of the challenges that are happening in your day-to-day life. Because all behavior is a result of what's going on and what has been programmed and the beliefs that are established within the subconscious mind. And those patterns have been established likely for a very long time, since early childhood. And so, not that everything is, but during states of extreme stress and trauma, we definitely imprint some of those emotional triggers deep in our subconscious mind, and then we are activated at unsuspecting moments, and our behavior is impacted maybe in a less than desirable way. So hypnosis is just a way of connecting with, a deeper part of you that will allow these changes to take place, and communicating the goal in a way that the subconscious can understand. Because our conscious mind is functioning in beta brainwave frequency most of the day. We dip in and out of different brainwave states, whether we're daydreaming or driving or whatever we're doing. But as far as the main um, operational functioning is taking place in beta brainwave state. And so we need to convey the goal that we want to achieve from that conscious state and translate it to the subconscious mind in a way that it will understand. And so accessing the sensory experience and the sensory input of the emotional state and the goal and defining it and conveying that information to the subconscious, and at the same time, if necessary, releasing old baggage, letting go of old beliefs, reformulating things in the subconscious mind in a way that it understands. The subconscious mind is sort of, think of it like a small child. It hasn't got a lot of, well, actually, the subconscious mind does not function with logic. And so a small child doesn't function with logic. It is taught that. It is taught that as it gets older, you know, prior to, going to school, most children are very highly imaginative, which is where our subconscious mind lives. And highly imaginative, uh, very sensory oriented, sight, sounds, taste, touch, all of that is their primary mode of functioning. And they intake and input all that information that's coming from their surroundings, and it imprints on their subconscious mind. And of course, repetitive things will imprint and stay there and form the basis of belief. So, as an example, if you're a small child and you are being teased by an older sibling, and maybe they are not intending to be mean, but they're just using, humor and teasing. And a young child doesn't understand that. But if they're constantly saying something to you like, oh, you're so silly, or you're so stupid, you're never going to do that correctly, or you're never going to get that right, if that's said often enough, that forms the basis for a belief. And that child could grow up thinking that they're stupid, and that could follow them or plague them into adulthood. It doesn't always happen, but it can happen. And then that can actually cause some self-sabotaging behavior based on that belief. And they may go through, their adult years, maybe attempting to go to university or attempting to take courses, and then they do something foolish like go out drinking the night before, or they don't study before an exam, and those things will be a self-fulfilling prophecy because they will actually have the belief that they can't succeed. They create the circumstances in which they will fail, and then that's how it plays out. So it's really a very valuable tool. Hypnotherapy, in the movies, and it's often portrayed as, I guess it makes for good movies and drama, but it's often portrayed as if, there's some evil mastermind that's going to take over you and maybe force you to commit a crime or force you to do something against your will. And that's really not what's happening, because you cannot be made to do something that goes against your deep ethical and moral beliefs. And that just would not happen. Uh, there are different kinds of hypnotherapy. There are people that specialize in hypnoanesthesia, that work with people who are undergoing surgeries, uh, and those clients are being taken into a catatonic state where they have no physical sensations. Again, they're doing this willingly. They're doing this by choice, and there are various circumstances as to why somebody might want to do that. Um, I have witnessed a surgery of a facelift being done without any anesthetic, and this particular woman was allergic to anesthetic, and she wanted the facelift, and so hired a a hypnotherapist who specialized in hypnoanesthesia. The other person that I witnessed having a surgery was a fellow who needed a hernia surgery, and he just had a bit of a hang up about being totally unconscious during the surgery and being knocked out, I guess. And there was a bit of fear around that. So he preferred to not have a general anesthetic. And so those kinds of hypnotherapists specialize in that. I don't do that kind of hypnotherapy, but I have worked with hundreds, probably maybe even thousands now. I haven't really counted, but I have worked with a lot of people with various issues over the years, all kinds of, standard things, but things like public speaking and confidence and, just so many aspects of our life that can be impeded, and we're not able to perform our best because of either a fear or a phobia or some kind of knee-jerk reaction that we have to certain triggers. That can all be reformulated with hypnotherapy. And it's unfortunate that the movie and media have sort of portrayed hypnosis as something as always negative, as if it's something to be feared. And I suppose in society, the part of the mind that we cannot equate to something tangible, like when we study, we're reading books, we're doing something very physical, we're reading a book, we're studying, we're using our mind for something that is very, very predictable, and we're going to write a test or we're going to write an exam. But when it comes to imagination and creativity and the part of the mind that is holding all of our inner world and our emotions and maybe our secrets, that part of the mind is often shunned or isn't looked at as well in society. It's unfortunate, but I guess the mysterious is often viewed as something to be feared. But really, hypnosis is such a gentle but effective therapy that can create massive change for people, and I see it all the time. Now, I do hypnotherapy with the use of a mind machine. I find that that helps enhance the process. Not all hypnotherapists use that, but I find that it's very beneficial to help put people in the right state of mind more quickly and more effectively. I also, on occasion, depending on the kind of therapy we're doing, will create a recording for the client, and that's something, again, that not all hypnotherapists will do. But I find it to be a very effective therapy, and that it can help people to make deep, lasting changes that impacts their life in very, very significant ways, where they have amazing changes take place. So I just wanted to share a little bit about hypnosis so that you realize that it's nothing to be feared. We go in and out of various brain states throughout the day, and we also know what hypnosis feels like when we're daydreaming or when we are engaged in a really good book and reading and formulating the pictures in our mind. Anything that activates our creativity, our imagination, those are the kinds of things that are very parallel to the hypnotic state. So, we all have experienced that in some form or another. I hope you've enjoyed this bit of information. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.